Ha ha ha. You thought this was over. You thought Halloween is over for me. But no. 13 Halloween movies in 13 minutes. Let's go. The original Halloween is one of my favorite movies of all time. This movie has been a staple in my household ever since. I'm an October baby and I fully embrace that. And this movie just brings me so much comfort despite it being about a psychopath killing babysitters. I love the legendary musical score done by the director himself, John Carpenter. I love the fall atmosphere where kids are out and about trick or treating. I love the first person cinematography. Jamie Lee Curtis, at such a young age as Laurie, is so good. Old kooky Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance, he's the best. This movie sets a high standard for the slasher subgenre it modernizes, and its influence can still be felt today. Michael Myers is a simple killer in this movie who stalks and preys on his victims in a way that feels a little too real and immersive. The way he stalks, moves, and lurks is all just so iconic. Halloween is an all-timer, 10 knives out of 10. Halloween 2 is a very solid follow-up to the original that I've underrated for quite some time. The movie has this building tension throughout. Michael's killing more people, Laurie is recovering from her injuries, and she's essentially trapped in a place that's supposed to be safe in the hospital. The cinematography and lighting in this film are amazing. This movie's use of darkness and shadows are masterful. The kills here are meaner than the first, with the standout being the hot tub kill. The final chase between Michael and Laurie is great and well shot, and Michael just feels deadlier. The explosion that burns Michael is so cool. Halloween 2 is a very fun sequel to the original that looks amazing, and it has a tense climax between Loomis, Laurie, and Michael. 8 knives out of 10. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch shows a possible future where this franchise could have been an anthology, and that didn't happen. But in the years since, it has become a cult fan favorite, and I'm pretty much there now too. So there's this business tycoon who makes Halloween masks, and he's essentially a witch, and he wants to sacrifice kids wearing these cursed masks. So when a certain ad at a certain time comes on, and these kids are wearing the mask, their heads essentially implode, and insects come out of their imploded heads. What the hell? Yeah, this movie's insane. I will say this, there is some clever commentary on how people become subservient to holiday mass media consumerism. The score is really good too. That catchy theme song gets in your head. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween. Season of the Witch is a wacky departure that brings retro sci-fi horror into the mix. A fun, unique atmosphere with some self-aware holiday commentary. So this gets 7 knives out of 10. I have a soft spot for Halloween 4 because I saw this movie on AMC probably just as much as the original. In this timeline, Laurie is dead and her daughter Jamie is being taken care of by a foster family, with her stepsister Rachel being a mother figure. I love Rachel and Jamie. They have great chemistry and the movie makes you care about them. Daniel Harris gives a great child performance and is really committed during the more intense scenes. This movie is paced kind of like an action movie and I love it for that. The final chase between Michael, Rachel, and Jamie is one of my favorite climaxes of the franchise. It's fast paced, and you can see how tired Rachel and Jamie are by the end. The ending shot with Jamie holding up the knife and her looking evil is awesome. Overall, Halloween 4 is probably my favorite sequel of the originals. It's a fast paced, no nonsense slasher with 2 great leads, so 8 knives out of 10. Halloween 5 is weird to say the least. I feel like this supernatural twist of Michael's evil passing on to Jamie and her connection to him is an inspired twist that's not executed well. This movie is all over the place, mostly for the worse. Jamie can't talk at first, but then she can. Michael was just chilling in some hole in the ground with some hobo after being decimated in the previous one, and then he just gets back to killing. They kill Rachel within like the first 30 minutes. So stupid. The Halloween party scene leading into the barn kill is fun and one of the highlights. Jamie getting chased by Michael while he's driving is pretty good stuff too. But other than that, this movie is such a mess. It spits in the face of all the good things that happen in 4, and there is a random ending that makes no sense. Overall, Halloween 5 kind of sucks. It's not unwatchable, but it's weird and messy. But hey, Jamie is still great, so 6 knives out of 10. Halloween 6, however, sucks. So they answered what happened with the man in black, and they go into why Michael is the way he is, and it's definitely something. This movie is an absolute misfire. It was so confusing. None of these characters stuck with me. Yes, even a young Paul Rudd fails to rise up to the occasion because his character is so creepy and charmless. I watched the producer's cut, which is considered better than the theatrical, and in the producer's cut, apparently Jamie's baby is like inferred to be Michael's baby, which is that's her freaking uncle, and like what the hell? Oh my god. Yeah, Halloween 6 sucks. It's the worst Halloween movie by far. I let out just a huge what the hell did I just watch when it ended. It writes the series into a convoluted corner with the Thorn nonsense, so 3 knives out of 10. Halloween H2O brings back Laurie and wipes away movies 4 through 6 from existence, so only the first 2 original movies matter, so there's no Jamie or Thorn. You know, I like this movie a lot. Jamie Lee Curtis comes back when she's still in her prime and kills it as an older traumatized Laurie who now has a teen son and is now the head of a boarding school. Josh Hartnett in his first movie is fun. A young Michelle Williams is here. That kid from Jumanji is here. LL Cool J as the aspiring erotic writer's security guard is a riot. When Michael finds Laurie and the killing starts, it's a lot of fun. Michael against Laurie is worth the price of admission alone. Laurie rises up and faces Michael in a bombastic finale. It's sweet when she just cuts off his head, and bam, the movie ends. H2O may be a reset, but bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis to face Michael in an all-out match is great, so this gets 8 knives. Unfortunately, Halloween Resurrection is another sequel that spits in the face of the previous movie. This is so stupid, and Michael kills Laurie in the most anticlimactic way possible, and Michael just goes back home. This essentially ruins H2O, so I pretend this prologue does not exist, honestly. So once we get past that nonsense, we get Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks as show producers who recruit college kids into an online reality show filmed in Michael's old home. I love the idea of a reality show based horror film where people are killed on camera in front of an audience. It explores people's obsession with reality TV and what people will consider entertainment even if it's morally wrong. Of course, the movie is famous for Busta Rhymes.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
If it weren't for the nonsensical prologue with Laurie, Resurrection would be an absolute guilty pleasure. Like if it was just Michael killing people on a reality show, I would have enjoyed that, so 6 knives out of 10. Rob Zombie's Halloween is a remake of the original movie but in his style, which means lots of nasty violence and vulgar language. But the biggest addition to this remake is that it gives Michael a backstory. Yeah, the kid who plays little Michael, I don't know how to pronounce this, is great and legitimately scary. It's unsettling when he makes these faces and he puts on these crude masks. You could really believe this kid is a psychopath. Then we flash forward and it essentially condenses the events of the original, but in that zombie way. The guy who plays grown-up Michael is savage. Laurie, played by Scout Taylor Compton, is actually really good. And of course, Danielle Harris, who plays Jamie, plays one of her friends, so I'm happy to see her again. But overall, I really enjoy Rob Zombie's Halloween as a brutal, gory reimagining of the original that goes deep into Michael's backstory, so this gets 7 knives. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is very controversial, but I feel it has gotten better with age. It's nastier than ever. Michael's even more of a savage here to the point of eating dog organs. Oh man, this is crazy. But honestly, this movie is pretty solid. The actress of Laurie is really good in this movie, and she is on the verge of insanity. Clockwork Orange, Dr. Loomis, is a scumbag in this. He profits off the tragedy of the first movie, which is a theme very ahead of its time, especially because of the true crime stuff that blows up ever since. Yeah, the kills here are gross. Michael hallucinates the whole time about his mom and this white horse. It's pretty wacky and crazy. Overall, I've grown to enjoy Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's so freaking unhinged, gory, with a good performance from the actress of Laurie, so I'll give it 7 knives out of 10. Halloween from 2018 kickstarts a new trilogy directed by David Gordon Green. It essentially erases every single movie from the canon, and she now has 3 children and 3 continuities. So, right off the bat, the negatives I will say about this movie is that there are some weird story decisions and just a lot of cringe humor.
Oh man, I got peanut butter on my penis.
But when you get past those things, this movie offers some of the best thrills of any Halloween movie. First off, the musical score is absolutely godly. Michael Myers himself looks amazing here. That one take sequence where Michael is walking around Haddonfield and people are trick or treating and he's just killing people back to back, so great. The final showdown at Laurie's house is absolutely thrilling and another all time sequence in this franchise. I love a lot of things about this movie. It's well shot, has an amazing score, and the core leads are solid, so this gets 8 knives. Halloween Kills feels like a middle chapter that goes on for far too long. It starts and stops, and that's it. Halloween 2018 rips off H2O in the original, but at least it had some interesting ideas to offer. This movie rips off Halloween 2 and 4, but it gets really heavy handed in the themes of generational trauma and rioting. It tries to be something that Halloween movies never were. I like seeing the characters from the original come back, that's fun. Michael is mean in this, the kills are pretty fun, and the final showdown between the mob and Michael is great. He just turns into John Wick and just takes down everybody like nothing. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And then they kill off Karen, Judy Greer's character in this, and it's so stupid. She just walks into Michael's house for no reason and dies. What a dumb moment. Yeah, Halloween Kills is not good. It feels like filler, it gets heavy handed, but some of it is fun to watch, so I'll give it 6 knives. I dig Halloween Ends, but I get why people don't. The make it or break it with this film is the character Corey Cunningham. He goes through an accident that results in a kid's death, so he's been ostracized by the town. Of course, Allison falls in love with Corey despite knowing his history, and Corey makes contact with a weakened Michael Myers who passes on his evil to Corey. So, yeah, they're ripping off 5 now, which is a choice. A lot of people hated this movie because it gave so much screen time to Corey. Personally, I found it interesting, and the actor, Rohan Campbell, did a really good job with Corey. I like his descent into madness, but this probably should have been its own separate, isolated movie that has nothing to do with the rest of them. We finally get to see a final confrontation between Michael and Laurie, and I kinda love that. Overall, I do enjoy Halloween Ends more than most. I liked Corey's character and that we see a final battle between Laurie and Michael, despite its flaws. And hey, third time's a charm with Laurie, so this gets 7 knives out of 10. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Happy Halloween. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned and stay spooky. Goodbye.